Hello and welcome to another WWE Raw review from September 15th, 2014. Sorry that we weren't live last week. Wife had surgery, so I wasn't able to catch most of Raw, so we delayed it and we couldn't do one, so we decided to do this week's as always. It's me, Tony, your host, with my co-host Dave. How are you tonight, Dave? Alright, well, let's just jump right into this episode of Raw tonight. It was the go-home show before Night of Champions, and we saw a match that is going to be on Night of Champions. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, they announced. I'm not sure why they had it before the match on Night of Champions, but yeah, we had that one, and that's the only one they announced. And they announced that Brock Lesnar was going to be on Raw. We opened up with Paul Heyman being in the ring. Heyman introduces himself and says he's here to give us a preview of what will happen this Sunday. Heyman talks about how Brock Lesnar will up on Cena at Night of Champions until John Cena ends up interrupting. He comes into the ring, pretty much threatens Paul Heyman and says that if Brock Lesnar is not there by halftime, I guess, meaning the second hour of the show, I guess. I don't know.
No.
It could be halftime of the 9 o'clock show, at the 9 o'clock hour when it happened. So
They actually really meant the NFL halftime game because when it went to halftime on the game, they had Heyman and Heyman and Cena come out exact same time.
yeah, oh well.
So you basically could have went and watched the game till halftime, come back and watch Raw, and we would have missed nothing basically.
And that's why I said Raw sucked tonight.
I don't think it sucked. We'll get into it.
He pretty much threatened him to have Lesnar there by halftime or whatever you want to say it was. By the middle of the show, or he was going to beat up Paul Heyman. He threw him into John Cena's locker room and had Great Khali pretty much guard him until the middle or halftime of the show. So that was that. There wasn't anything special. But that did lead us to our first match of the night, which was Chris Jericho taking on Corporate Kane. What was your thoughts on this match?
I was down on the match, but the match actually wasn't that bad of a match, I didn't think. I mean, it wasn't nothing. It was me a crappier match than it was. So I didn't mind the match. It went on for about 15 minutes, I believe. So it was a pretty decent match.
Yeah, Jericho ends up going over on Kane by Kane undid the turnbuckle, exposing the bare ring post or
Which
whatever.
I like, because we haven't seen something like that in a long time, someone actually exposing the turnbuckle pad.
Yeah, which then led to Kane going after Jericho, which then led him to kicking Kane in the knee, chipping Kane into the ring to the unexposed turnbuckle, and that was it. Jericho pins up Kane. We get the 1, 2, 3, and Jericho gets over on Kane. Kind of looking strong going into Night of Champions this Sunday with this match against Randy Orton. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with Kane. They keep flip-flopping him back and forth, so it's kind of confusing. But, yeah, it was a solid match. It wasn't like a 5-star or a really great match. It was just a filler match, I guess you could say, until we got
3 hours. I mean, that's pretty much what Raw has become. The first match of the show, a lot of times, could very well end up being the best match on the whole 3-hour show.
Yeah, and this one was not, though.
No, not by far.
Let's see, what else did we get? We get a look back at Mark Henry and Rusev's arm wrestling contest on SmackDown.
Brother.
They also showed a high jump gold medalist Charles Austin encouraging Mark Henry for his match against Rusev this Sunday at Night of Champions. Renee Young is backstage and interviews Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns says he stands alone now and pretty much basically says he's going to take out Rollins and going to beat him and so on and so forth. I mean, I didn't really understand why they between Roman Reigns and Rollins tonight before the match they're going to have none of champions.
I honestly thought it was a setup. That's what I tweeted out before when they announced it. I'm like, oh, this has to be a big setup. They're all going to jump Roman, and that's what I thought. That screwed me. I was like, wow.
But we'll get to that when the match happened. We got the second match of the night, which was Jack Swagger taking on Bo Dallas. Not too bad. I like the way Jack Swagger ended up winning, which was reversing a roll-up into his ankle lock, beating Bo Dallas. Looks like Bo Dallas has kind of lost his steam. He didn't even get on the at all. So
I know. I don't like how they're doing this. I'm a big fan of both guys. Lately, more with Jack because of how he's been getting over it. He's still kind of over with the crowd with the USA stuff, so that's good. But it's like Bo Dallas. I mean, he's good, and they just keep. It would have been better if he would have went over on Jack Swagger, but it's just odd. I just wonder if tonight was a bunch of rewrites. I honestly wonder if they did that. If tonight was a big screw up, the script was just thrown out the window for some reason, and they just did it went like this. That's what I wonder.
Like, in my honest opinion, tonight's WWE Raw tonight was just all over the place.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a bunch of rewrites. How the show was put together, it's like, why would they do it like this? And it seemed really weird.
Yeah, it wasn't the same Raw as we've been seeing the last couple of weeks. It was just all over the place. But yeah, Bo Dallas takes the loss. Nothing further on with the feud. It looks like there was just no storytelling or nothing, no storyline advancement or anything tonight at all. It was just a bland Raw. Next we got Paige and Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee and Brie Bella. It was an okay tag match. I like the way Nikki Bella, even though I don't really care for them on the mic at all. I like the way Nikki Bella is portraying a heel. You know, not wanting to get tagged in to face Brie and attacking Brie at the end of the match. I like that, but I guess that's the only thing.
Horrible.
Yeah. Nikki Bella and Paige get the win. It was an okay tag match. Nothing to talk about between these two. I thought it was going to be a fatal 4-way match at first, but
everyone keeps saying it's going to get turned into a fatal 4-way. Who knows? Maybe it will by the end of the week. But I mean, it would make more sense to turn it. Even though I don't want the Bellas involved in this match at all, but just for the storyline wise, it would make more sense to have it turn into a fatal 4-way.
Yeah. But who knows? We'll see what happens after SmackDown and what we get to this Sunday. But yeah, Nikki Bella and Paige pick up the win. Next we have looks like maybe an upcoming feud between Big Show and Bray Wyatt.
Oh, brother.
Singles match. Big Show ends up winning by DQ. Of course, the Wyatt family get involved. Big Show goes over with a double choke slam. Looks like we may see our maybe kickoff show match.
The kickoff show match. I don't know if they're going to have a match because they did announce tonight that it's going to be Christian returning to the Peep Show with Chris Jericho on it before the pay-per-view. So.
But it's an hour-long pre-show though, so.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's different. Yeah, so they might do a match. If they do a match, I could see it being, which I don't know how many people feel about this, Mizdow and R. Ziggler. I could see that being the pre-show match.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me at all. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like we may see a Wyatt and Big Show feud in the near future. But they really didn't tease anything that it was going to happen, but it just seems like that might be the next on Bray Wyatt's storyline list. Let's see, what else? Next we had the 6-man tag match between the Usos and Sheamus versus Cesaro, Stardust, and Goldust. Why don't you tell us about this match a little bit? What are your thoughts about this match?
You know what? I actually thought it was a pretty good match. I kind of enjoyed the match. I like tag wrestling, so it was kind of different to see the Usos and Sheamus, and I don't know what was going on with Sheamus's beard tonight, but whatever. But the match is actually a pretty good match. I mean, you had Sheamus versus Cesaro, or Sheamus and the Usos versus Cesaro and Cody, or not. He doesn't want to be referred to Cody and Stardust as the same person. So Stardust and Goldust, which for a minute it looked like they were gonna have Sheamus pick up, or Cesaro pick up the win over Sheamus, which would have been kind of odd. So they ended up changing that, and then one of the Usos, take your pick, I don't know which one, got the win on Cesaro.
Yeah, it was a solid 6-man tag match. I enjoyed it. And they announced also on SmackDown we'll see another 6-man tag match with the Wyatts taking on the Usos and Big Show. But yeah, back to the match. It was really good. You know, it kind of makes the Usos and Sheamus look strong going into the pay-per-view. Title changes. I mean, I definitely think we're going to see tag title changes, but Cesaro and Sheamus, who knows what they're going to go with.
That's going to be a good match. I want to see that. I almost want to. I mean, I don't see the point of giving Cesaro the U.S. title, but Sheamus has been kind of bland as champion anyway, so might as well get to Cesaro.
Yeah, so it should be an interesting match between the two. It's going to be a very physical match, that's for sure. Next, we had the long-awaited face-off between Brock Lesnar and John Cena. They haven't seen each other since the match at SummerSlam. Cena pretty much comes down to the ring with Heyman. Heyman pretty much, I like the way they portrayed it because they made it, you know, John Cena wanted to hit Heyman, but the persona John Cena portrays, it wouldn't have made sense for him to hit Paul Heyman because, you know, John Cena's against bullying and doing the right things and stuff like that. And I like how Paul Heyman pretty much called him out on that.
Yeah, but it makes me think more and more like it's like Paul Heyman's trying to get John Cena to become, almost like Kane did a few years ago, embrace the hate a little bit, you know. And when he was about to seem like they wanted him to hit me and turn into a Paul Heyman guy, and the crowd was chanting yes. And he's like, no, I won't do that. And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of pulling me back and forth which way. I'm getting kind of scared a little bit, like, are they seriously considering having Cena win this match? It's really starting to like make me second guess myself a little bit.
Lesnar would have went on top tonight, then you could second guess, which did not happen. And Lesnar teases like he's gonna get in the ring, which I would have much more preferred it to where if right when Lesnar's music hit and he was coming down to the ring, John Cena ended up running into the aisleway and attacking him. I would have liked it like that. And then, you know, security comes and breaks him up. Instead of, you know, Brock Lesnar enters the ring, he does a suplex on Cena. Cena goes out to the ring, and then comes back in, beating up on Brock Lesnar, and then they claim that maybe John Cena broke Brock Lesnar's nose. There was no blood or anything, but he was grabbing at his nose quite a bit after the...
Well, Cena's probably like, I owe you a receipt. Jeez, he really does, though. I mean... Because their not this last match, but matches when Brock first came back, and that Extreme Rules match, you haven't seen it, you can go check it out on the WWE Network for only $9.99. But he busted in 5 seconds in the match. He busted Cena wide open.
Yeah, and I'm sure, you know, knowing Lesnar and how big he is and how tough he is, he probably said, hey, try to, you know, give me a couple stiffies, you know, stiff shots to the face or, you know, whatever have you. Make this as realistic as it can. I mean, it was a solid segment. I enjoyed every minute of it, except for maybe some, you know, I would have had it a different way. But it was a nice, strong segment getting into Night of Champions. You know, John Cena looks strong. Looks like.
Which, let's be real, this should have ended the show.
Well, yeah. You know, this, like I said, to me, Raw tonight was not good because of how it was booked. It was just all over the place. It was just all over the place. It just booking didn't make sense. It was just not a very good run Raw tonight. But let's just finish this Raw review before you know, we start bashing it or whatever have you. Next, we had one of the worst Divas match I've ever seen in my life, Cameron versus Naomi. Cameron even tried to get a pin when Naomi was laying on her stomach. I could not believe what I was seeing. Oh, my
She was
Lord.
at the ref. Count, ref. I was like, wow. I mean, maybe it was Naomi's fault. Maybe she was supposed to be on her back when she laid down the kick. I don't know.
But how can you not
But
tell that she's not
reminded me of the Taryn Terrell story, where the rumor is where she did a move on somebody in NXT or somewhere, and she went to pin somebody, but she had her backwards. She was laying on her stomach when she's trying to pin her. But that's what it reminded me of.
God, man, it was just pathetic. I didn't know what to think of it.
She was just horrible in this match. I mean, she was horrible.
Naomi tried to make the best out of it. She gets the win in some kind of weird submission hold I've never seen her do before. So hopefully Naomi gets a nice little push because she is one of the best Diva wrestlers that they have.
I like how they were kind of bashing NXT on Raw tonight a little bit.
No, not necessarily. She wanted to go back down to NXT. I don't think that's
I mean, well, they're like, oh, why would she want to go back to NXT? I mean, it's like,
main stage, that's why.
Yeah, well, I know, but then she said, I want to get better. Well, I'll give her credit for that. She said I've never heard Eva Marie trying to get better, but Naomi or Cameron wanted to say she wants to go back to NXT and get better at wrestling because she loves what she's doing. So I'll give her credit for that, saying she wants to get better. But the match is horrible. If she's not that good, why are you even putting her on that? Just because it's Total Divas? I mean, that's pathetic.
Oh, yeah, it's all because of Total Divas. Yeah. So let's move on. Yeah, I know, I feel you. Next, we had Dolph Ziggler and R. Ziggler take on Mizdow and The Miz in a tag team. Yeah, it was alright match. Nothing really to hate on other than playing each other's gimmick. And the commentating was awful during this match.
Oh my God, yes. All they kept talking about was each other. I was like, really?
Well, not just that, but
and Cole were trying to get this whole little stupid gimmick where which one is Dolph Ziggler, and the King sitting there like, what are you talking about? It's like the King doesn't pay attention or watch SmackDown at all or anything. It's like, what are you guys talking about? I thought the King was going to say, he's black, he's what? I honestly thought he was going to say that.
Yeah, that was kind of horrible, but it was an alright tag match, like Dave said.
Yeah, it was more entertaining, the SmackDown, how they did it on SmackDown, I thought. With those guys, but I actually enjoy them doing this. I mean, I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah. After that, we had don't understand this match. Rollins versus Reigns in a match before they face each other as champions this Sunday. Unless Ambrose returns during the match and make it a tag match.
I don't know. I mean, not to talk. I mean, when I first heard this match, like I said earlier in the video, I thought it was a complete setup. Orton, Reigns, we're all gonna just jump him, and it was gonna be something like that.
I thought we were gonna see Kane come down. They're gonna try to do the steps, the stomp on the blocks again, and then Ambrose makes a save. But man, nothing. We had a solid match between the two.
Oh, it was a really good, clean match, which threw me. The WWE has to stop doing this. You make us think every main event is gonna have some kind of shenanigans or something happen at the end, and they just had I thought they had a really good match. I mean, I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, not really sure how they can top it this Sunday, but it was a really good match.
No commercials to top it.
Yeah, maybe we see someone get involved. They add Ambrose, add Kane. I don't know, but I don't understand this. And then they're advertising it as a rematch.
Which is confusing. It'd be one thing if this happened next Monday and they did a rematch like that, but I've never heard of this where They have a match announced before, but one time I can remember them doing this. It was when RVD got busted for pulling for drugs and everything else, and they took the title off him on Raw right before WrestleMania. But, I mean, that's the only other time I can remember them ever doing, like, a pay-per-view match that was scheduled a week before the pay-per-view.
It was just weird. But, yeah, Reigns gets the win. Yeah, so Reigns gets the win, and we'll see the rematch this Sunday at Night of Champions. Let's get to the crappy main event, which was Mark Henry trying to rally up the fans for America this Sunday at Night of Champions.
He was horrible.
Talked about his injury and how he, couldn't make it into the Olympics and all this crap. Rusev comes down, talks about how a Russian ended up winning the gold medal in the weightlifting championships. It was just this segment kind of made sense. Bringing up the past to Mark Henry, to lose Mark Henry's confidence going into Sunday. I get it.
I don't understand why this was the last thing. Like, man, that's a good way to end Raw. Rollins and Reigns, a clean match, a great match. Like, oh wait, we still have 5 minutes left or 10 minutes left, and I was like, Mark Henry storyline, which isn't going to be nowhere near the main event on the pay-per-view, but is going to be a main event segment to close out Raw the week before your big selling pay-per-view. You're trying to get people to go watch. I mean, last month it made sense to have Stephanie and Brie Bella main event Raw because it was a big storyline going in. This feud has only been going for maybe 3 weeks, and it's already main eventing a freaking Raw segment, which was a terrible segment.
Yeah, it just didn't play out well. I mean, it made sense to what Lana was saying and all that baloney, but other than that, it wasn't main event material. It wasn't main event worthy. It just wasn't the best.
I don't get it. I mean, I was so confused the whole time I'm watching this, like, I don't know if I was even paying attention half to what they were saying because I was sitting there, why is this on right now? This should be Cena and Brock Lesnar ending Raw. And you see Brock and them standing, how they had Cena held back by security. That's how Raw should have went off.
Right, I agree.
Mark Henry giving some boring speech for like 10 minutes of Michael Cole asking him questions, and I was like, why is this ending Raw? I mean, it made no sense to have 2 mid-card level wrestlers, unless they're really about to give Rusev a big push. The only thing I can think of. Unless they're giving him a huge push coming up. I mean, it's not like Mark Henry's going to beat Rusev. I mean, come on, that's not going to happen.
No, I don't see that.
But, I mean, I personally thought, besides some spots here and there I didn't really agree with, Divas match, and then the way they did the main event, I mean, I thought Raw was a pretty good show. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of wrestling tonight. I mean, Rollins and Reigns, I thought was a really good match. I enjoyed that. I didn't think it was a bad Raw. It just weird how they did all these spots. To me, it seems like it had to be a rewrite or something.
Yeah, it had to have been something. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the Raw review tonight. They thought it was an alright show. I didn't think it was the best. But, that's 2 different opinions. That's how our show goes. We will be back again Wednesday night for another TNA Impact review. So I hope you guys can join us then. And then we'll be back again on Saturday with a special, I guess we could do our pay-per-view review and maybe touch on some other stuff going on in wrestling business. But yeah, we'll do that on Saturday, and then we'll be back Sunday night with our Night of Champions review right after Night of Champions. So hope you guys can check us out on our TNA review. We really want to thank everybody for watching our NXT video last week. Hit the most views ever we've ever had it on a video, almost 600 views. So
Well, thank you.
unbelievable. Yeah, I never thought we would ever hit that much views, and we really, really appreciate it. And feels good because our videos don't really get that many views, and when we get consecutive triple-digit numbers on videos, it feels real good. So we appreciate everybody watching, appreciate everybody commenting and subscribing. But yeah, that's gonna end Raw for tonight. We'll be back Wednesday night with a TNA Impact review. Is there anything you would like to add, Dave, before we end this tonight's show?
Um, Subscribe to the channel, and don't forget this Wednesday is our Impact No Surrender review for
Oh, that's correct. Good point. Yes,
Bobby
that's right.
Roode getting a title shot.
Yep.
So, and I'm not sure if it's the Hardys in the three-way match again this week, or if it's going to be the following week. So I'm not sure about that. But I do know it's a world title match. So, I mean, that'll be good to check out because, I mean, we got Night of Champions this Sunday, and then get a world title match on Impact. And there's a lot of rumors going around about Bobby Lashley. So we'll see if it's true Wednesday night.
Yeah. And I hope everybody can join us then, and hope everybody can join us this weekend when we do our review, our prediction show, I should call it, and then our Night of Champions review after that. So appreciate everybody. Wednesday night.